Well, hey guys, how you doing? Happy summer. Matt here, and let's go find something cool. So let's head on over to the, let's do the auctions. Let's see what we can find in the junk auctions. Well, look what I've found here. A car I've been looking for quite some time. It's the Fast and the Furious Paul Walker Supra Targa top. You know it. You love it. The orange from Fast and the Furious. Oh, man. This is exciting. Obviously, I'm going to try to make a play on this. Obviously, I'm going to try to win it because I'd love to be able to, you know, complete the whole collection of any and all Fast and Furious cars that have been modded into Car Mechanic Simulator. So yeah, this one I think has to come home with me. I mean, if you're watching this video, this movie probably had the exact same effect on you as it did on me. So yes, let's go ahead, start the auction. We're just gonna keep betting. I'm guessing, let's see, I'm gonna try to guess it's gonna go for 110. We'll see. And we are at, oh, that was close. We were at 64. Now we're at 67. 161. I'll take it. I thought it was gonna go for a lot more. We're sending that straight to the garage. And we've got ourselves the Supra from Fast and Furious. And I believe our Supra has been delivered. Indeed, it has. And man, does it have a lot of crust on it. A lot of, yeah, just, I'm surprised the interior's, I mean, well, yeah, it's pretty dusty too, but all right. Speaking of that, let's send it over to the car wash and get that thing taken care of. I'm excited to see what's underneath it because I'm guessing it's probably that iconic orange paint job with the decal. Yes, let's see what we got here. The big silver decal. Oh, it's not on there, huh? Interesting. So we get to apply that ourselves. We've got our 2JZ twin turbo. That's the most important thing. All right, let's send it back over to the garage. Start working on this thing properly. Get this thing up in the air. Go get our oil receptacle here. Move it over to the car lift, and we'll use it. And we've got very dark oil, but a decent amount of it, so that's good. I've had a lot less before. So let's bring that back down. And well, we could probably just start going ahead and pulling apart the drivetrain because I plan on doing a full restoration on this. We're going to do it up right. When we get this drive shaft off, we'll pull the drive line out as well as the exhaust while we're right here, while it's this high. And then yeah, we'll take care of the other pertinent stuff that we need to then. Drive shaft comes right out. We'll grab the, oh, starter. Yes, starter has to come out before we can get the gearbox. This one's a little more complete than some of the other junk that I've drug home. Gearbox comes right out with one stuck fastener right there. Now we've got our clutch set. Get the release bearing. This is not a terrible, it's not in terrible shape. I've definitely seen worse. We do have some stuck fasteners, but nothing too bad. Off that comes, as well as the clutch plate and flywheel. We are good there. Let's go ahead and spin around and start grabbing exhaust stuff. Where it is, there it is right there. Front exhaust section can come right out. Catalytic converter, middle, exhaust pipe. There we go. That's all out of there. Looks like we've got underglow right here and it's all turned on. Interesting. Surprised the battery still has any juice. Oh, we got one little piece of exhaust here we need to get rid of. The rear muffler. There it goes. I'm gonna pop up here to see we do have a fuel pump. How about that? We're gonna take that out. Fuel tank as well. Let's move to some underhood stuff. Get ready to pull this beautiful, beautiful engine here. Get the stuff around it. Yeah, we've got some fluids here that we do need to go ahead and take care of. So we'll pull our windshield washer fluid just like that. Get that out of the way. And I see we have some coolant over here. Get that out of there. Do we have power steering reservoir? I think we're missing that. I'm not seeing it. We'll see if we got brake fluid. Oh no, there's power steering reservoir right back there. It was hiding. Pull that out, as well as our brake fluid. This car is a little more, yeah, I'm surprised. It's a little more complete than some of the stuff I brought home from the Junkyard auctions. So now we can go ahead and pull this reservoir, get that coolant reservoir, power steering reservoir, and our brake master cylinder out of the way. Probably pull this radiator. I'm guessing we have to get the intercooler from underneath the car, no big deal. Pull this battery out, get that on the charger, ABS module. Little stuck bolt there, nothing too bad. And then pull out the pump. We've got our ECU right here. And flip over here, we've got to get our, oh, we have the cover for our fuse box. That's also rare. I'm surprised. Somebody actually took decent care of this before it went to the salvage auction. A lot of that stuff's picked apart by the time I get my hands on it. And we'll go ahead and pull each one of these fuses just like that. And we can pull our base. There it goes. As far as under hood stuff, that's pretty much it. Other than let's just grab that intercooler right now while I'm thinking about it. And then that way we can, it's out of our, there's that underglow. It's going to be blinding me the whole time, I'm guessing. How do we get to the, come on now. Let's get that intercooler. There we go. We got it. It's out of the way. Bring the car back down, run over here, grab our engine hoist, cherry picker, move it over to the car. Go ahead and pull our engine. Out it comes. We'll go put it on the engine stand. Just like so. I didn't even bother running any tests on it. We're just going to rebuild it and throw a bunch of performance parts at it. This thing can go back to where it came from. And we can grab the... Actually, let me put the battery on the charger first. Get that all charged up. Now we can grab our welder, move it over to the car, and get to welding. Go. Accept. That's going to straighten a lot of stuff up back here, especially these rear quarters. And obviously the whole frame of the car and everything. It does look pretty rough, but we'll be able to fix that, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and clean the interior while we're here. Doesn't hurt. Just like that. Let's go ahead and start pulling some body panels off. Why don't we? We pull off the hood, front bumper, headlights. Get those out of the way. We've got, yeah, the intercooler's gone. Anything there? Nope. We'll get this fender. That fender. Grab the windshield, the door. All this stuff is going to need to be replaced. We don't even have this little quarter window here. We'll go ahead and get rid of the hatch window, trunk. Look at the NOS. How about that? Get the rear bumper out of the way, taillights. Just like that. I'm guessing this is some sort of cover that can be removed, maybe. I don't know, maybe not. We can get this door off of here. We've got these rocker covers. Yep. Oh, there we go. That one comes off. And let's see if we got anything else I'm missing. That one's in rough shape. There's all sorts of stuff going on back here in the interior. Subwoofers and all that. Let's go ahead and take care of the interior stuff. Get rid of what we, or pull out what we can here. We got just a driver's seat and a steering wheel. I guess that's all you really need. Looks like that's it for the body. So let's go ahead and send it up in the air. Start pulling apart suspension parts before we go move over to that engine and get that taken care of. We'll pull off. This looks very complete, which I'm excited about. And we'll grab this brake caliper here. A little stuck bolt there. No big deal. Get that out. I wish it was that way in real life, but hey, a man can dream. We get this wheel hub cap out, bearing, as well as this wheel hub. The cover. Off that comes. We'll go ahead and pull this front sway bar link here. Get rid of this strut set here. Out it comes. Go ahead and get the lower control arm out of the way. Before we can pull the knuckle, we got to get this tie rod out of the way, as well as the inner tie rod. Now this can come on out. Front steering knuckle, and look at that. That's pretty much it. We've got these little rubber bushings here. Of course, one of them stuck. Let's see if the other one is as well. Nope, we're good to go. All right, that's that side done. On to the other side. That out of the way, we can drop the cross member, grab our steering rack and our front sway bar. They come out just like that. Let's move on to the back. Looks as equally as complete, which I'm excited about. Kind of impressed by this car. I'm curious, guys, if you put in the comments, I'm curious, what is your favorite Fast and the Furious car? It doesn't matter what movie. Of all the movies, I'm partial to the first one because I am of a certain age where I saw it in theaters as what, like a 18-year-old kid. I just gotten a Mustang. I was all excited about modding and everything and saw that movie. I was like, oh man, really got me stoked on that. And ended up buying an RX-7 not long after that when you could still get RX-7s at a decent price. And so obviously I think my favorite is Dom's red FD RX-7. It just, I mean, something about those rotary engine cars. I ended up owning 2 of them, and yeah, I blew the apex seals out of both, but that's kind of the way it is with rotary engine cars. But man, that car was fun. So yeah, I'm partial to Dom's FD RX-7. Both of mine were FCs. I didn't have the big money. I didn't have an FD, but maybe one of these days, maybe if these YouTube videos start paying off big time, I'll get myself an FD. We could make some fun videos with that, couldn't we? All right, that's that side done. On to the other side. And there we go. Now we can get this cross member. We get these rubber bushings out of the way. Looks like I failed to do that on the other side. We'll jump over there, take care of those real quick. And of course, one of them happens to be stuck. One thing I'll say, I also really love Jesse's VW. That thing was awesome. His Jetta that he had, the white. I just thought that was a cool choice for the movie. I dug it. I don't see why he went up against a. Well, you know how it all worked out. All right, that all is removed. It looks like we are down to bare nothing as far as the chassis goes. Yeah, this is not removable, but it looks great. So yeah, we're good to go there. Let's tear down our engine, our beautiful 2JZ. All right, let's get things going here. We'll go ahead and where do we want to start? I say turbo. Get the turbo system out of the way. Just like so. And maybe work from the top down from here. Actually, let's go ahead and get this throttle body out of the way. And then we can get the intake and all that stuff out of the way. And then work our way down from the top down. Out comes the throttle body. We got to get that fuel rail. Can't forget that. Intake manifold. I'm surprised only one stuck bolt over here. Okay. I'm not going to complain about it. Off it comes. Now we'll go ahead and grab this coil cover. All the little bolts for that. Oh, gotta get that guy. Off it comes, and we'll grab our 6 coils here. I'm excited to see what kind of horsepower we're gonna make out of this thing. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And each one of those come out. We'll go ahead and grab this engine cover over here. Get that guy taken care of. Off he comes. Spin around. And we expose our camshaft. Get our other head cover here. Off that comes. And it looks like, yeah, not much as far as stuck bolts. Now, here's where I'm going to have to pull every single one of these cam retainers. And I'm not going to make you sit through that. Out they come. And it looks like we need to jump over. Actually, we'll grab this fuel filter while we're right here. Jump up here, get our timing stuff taken care of to be able to get that off. To be able to remove our overhead cams. Let's get this radiator fan out of the way. Just like so. That'll let us get to our serpentine belt. Now we can get this water pump pulley off. And we can't quite remove the water pump yet without removing the timing cover. So we'll go ahead and grab the alternator and do the power steering pump. Just like that. Get our harmonic balancer out of the way. Now we can grab this time. Nope, we got an idler roller. It's gonna stand in our way. Get this timing cover out. Looks like we're gonna have a stuck bolt on this one over here. Yes, we do. Out it comes. Now we can get, well, we got to get this idler roller before we can get our timing belt. There it goes. We'll get our cam gear, that cam gear, and we should be good to remove the cams. But while we're right here, we'll go ahead and pull this water pump. Then we can jump up here, pull our cams out. There's one, there's two. Let's go ahead and get this exhaust manifold out of the way. Not only one single stuck bolt on an exhaust manifold. That's not accurate, but I'm not going to complain. Go ahead and pull the head with these long fasteners. One thing I'd love to see in the next reiteration of Car Mechanic Simulator is being able, when you do rebuild the engines, to be able to have to do it within a certain torque range and have a mini game for getting it there. Let's look at, oh yeah, we got tons of carbon buildup, especially cylinder 2, 5 and 6. Yeah, pretty rough in there. Let's go ahead and grab this oil filter while we're right here. And then we're good to flip this thing over and get to the business end. Pull this oil pan out of the way. Only 4 bolts because that's accurate. And then we can start grabbing rod caps and crankshaft retainer bearing caps. Just like that. And again, I'm not going to make you sit through all this at regular speed. So see you in a second. Now we're going to start pulling pistons. And that's just as simple as this right here. Get them out. Move over here. Get a better view. And get those out of the way. Now we can pull our crankshaft. Out it comes. And we can remove our engine block. And we are good. As far as teardown goes, what I'm going to do now is what I always like to do. Is go ahead and turn some disc brakes. And we're going to flip these for a little bit of profit because I'm going to convert over to carbon ceramic because we're going to be making some big horsepower. But I like to flip these for a couple bucks. Every dollar counts. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start repairing body panels. So we've got our hood here. And you get how this goes. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this. Okay, we have all body panels repaired. And just like that, exact same time, it's time to remove this disc from the lathe and throw another one on. On it goes. And now we move on to repairing all the parts for the car. And all the parts that I can repair, I shall. And all the parts that I can't, I will replace. And any part that has a performance option, I will buy. Now that that is all out of the way, time for us to build up our 2JZ. Let's go ahead and get our block on here and throw on this fuel filter that's just floating there for whatever reason. We'll go ahead and grab the oil filter there and put that on. Power steering pump performance. On it goes. Let's go ahead and jump up in here and put in the crank. There it is. Now we can do our pistons, performance pistons, as well as all of our crankshaft bearing caps. And our final piston and rod cap goes in just like that. I'm excited to see how much power this thing's gonna make. It's gonna be oh, we forgot one rod cap here. These 2JZs are so much fun. Okay, we can put on the oil pan and we can flip this thing on over. Start building up the top end. Now that we got the business end all taken care of, let's go ahead and throw on our front of engine stuff right here while we're here. Got our alternator and our water pump. Just like so. Now we can go ahead and put on our water pump pulley. And now we're going to need the engine head so we can do the camshafts and whatnot. Let's go ahead and get all of these fasteners in. Now we can install our performance crankshaft. Both of them, just like that. And each and every one of our crankshaft caps. I'm not going to make you sit through all of those. Now we can go ahead and put on our engine head cover. Just like so. Then after we get these done, we can put on our, let's see, get this other cover on. And then we can start getting our spark plugs in, as well as our coil packs and all of that. On that goes spark plugs, performance spark plugs. All 6 of these, as well as the ignition coils. Just like that. Let's jump over here and go ahead and put on our intake manifold, all polished. Looks really good. And we can go ahead and do our throttle body. I like the polished with the red look. It's always such a classic, cool look with these performance parts. The cam gears can go on, as well as our serpentine belt. We're going to want the idler roller for that, as well as the cover, first cover, the second, and then the third, which will also cover all the coil packs. Spin around here, get those last two. We'll go ahead and do exhaust manifold while we're right here. Just like that. Now can we mount our massive turbo setup? Yes, we can. And it is performance. That's why I'm excited to see what kind of horsepower we're going to be putting out of this thing. Let's go ahead and grab this idler roller here, as well as our harmonic balancer. That'll allow us to put on our serpentine belts. Got our first one there, along with the tensioner. Looks like that's the only one, because now we've got our radiator fan. Just like that. I believe our 2JZ is complete. Looks like it. Let's take our engine off the stand and let's go put it back into our Supra. We'll get our cherry picker here, move it over to car lift A, and just like so, install. Looks good. Let's do some under hood stuff. Before we do that, let's make sure we grab our battery. It's fully charged by now. And now we can do some under the hood stuff. We've got our brake master cylinder right there. We've got our power steering reservoir. Spin around over here. Yeah, let's throw in the ECU while we can. Well, it wants battery, so let's drop that in now. ECU, just like that. Stage 3 ECU, ABS pump, ABS module. Spin around over here. I believe we're gonna have to do the intercooler from the outside underneath the lift, I believe. Get our radiator in. Coolant reservoir, I don't want that. Yep, the intercooler is accessible from underneath. Let's do all our fuses and relays, shall we? Just like that, and then the cover can go on. Nice, beautiful. That's looking a lot better. Let's get this thing up in the air, install our intercooler, and from there we can go ahead with our suspension. Let's pull back here. There it is, medium intercooler, the performance intercooler. Go ahead and do our front cross member and all 4 of the rubber bushings for that. From there, we can install our steering rack, as well as our front sway bar, inner tie rod. Jump over here, install our steering knuckle, as well as the outer tie rod, just like that. On it goes, lower suspension arm, with all of its rubber bushings, can go right in. Jump up here, do our strut set. Install that, there we go. Now we can do our front axle cover, as well as our front wheel hub. If I could talk, that would be great. Our wheel hub bearing, the cap for that. We don't want dust or debris getting in there, damaging that bearing. We'll do our carbon ceramic brakes, upgraded, as well as our brake calipers. I know gray brake calipers are kind of boring, but I looked up pictures of it, and it's actually, they were gray on the car. So for the front, I got sport tires. For the rear, I got slicks. We will put our sport tires here on the front. That's that side done. Onto the other side. Front suspension completed. Let's move on to the rear. Let's go ahead and install our fuel tank. Work from the back all the way to the front on this little suspension buildup back here. Go ahead and throw in our, we'll worry about exhaust when we're done with this. We'll get our rear suspension cross member in, as well as our rear sway bar. On it goes. And then we've got a bunch of rubber bushings to install. Now we can do our rear knuckle housing. Hub cover. Let's go ahead and put this shock absorber in all right here, as well as this suspension arm. Another rear suspension arm and another rubber bushing for that. Spin over here. There we go. Get that installed. Now we can do the upper arm. This is quite the rear end compared to the solid axle leaf spring setups that we've done recently on this channel. Got the small rubber bushing down here to be able to install another rear suspension arm. Just like that. Now we can, oh yeah, we want to do our spring cap as well as our spring. And then our shock absorber cap can go on. Now we can do our rear wheel hub. The hub bearing. Carbon ceramic, brake disc. Go ahead and do this drive axle. Get that installed. Brake pad. Caliper. It looks like, yeah, we're ready for the wheels and tires. And again, back here, these are going to be slicks. Thinking we're going to need that. At least I dearly hope so. Okay, that's that side done. On to the other. Okay, got that done. Now we can start working on the exhaust. Let's get our rear muffler on. Performance, all stainless. Middle muffler, catalytic converter. Jump up way up here. Now we can install the front exhaust section. And while we're right here, perfect time to install the performance flywheel and clutch, as well as pressure plate. Throw out bearing can go next. And the gearbox, just like that. Spin around and install our starter right there. Now we can attach our drive line with a drive shaft. And that looks like that is the powertrain completely reassembled. Might as well bring it down and install our interior. Not a lot to it. Get to our interior mode here, install our front passenger seat, driver's seat, steering wheel, and that's it. Time to start attaching body panels. We will start up here in the very front, go front bumper. On it goes. It's nice that this car was pretty well together. Don't have to go hunting for so many parts. We get our front left door like we usually do, as well as our rocker cover here. Side mirror. Window. Let's get the windshield. Get this little quarter window here. I love the Targa top on these. So good. The trunk. We'll do the trunk window. Wing. That huge wing. Huge rear bumper. Right taillight. Left taillight. Do license plate. I did Nebraska. Why not? Hello, anybody from Nebraska watching? If so, that was for you. All right, got this window in, front right door, rocker cover. You get it. We did it on the other side. We're doing it again over here. We get our fender on. That looks to be everything. Now seems like a good time to do fluids. We'll get the brake fluid in, just like so. Power steering fluid, coolant, windshield washer fluid, and engine oil. I wonder if anybody caught it. That I forgot to install the fuel rail. If you caught it, let me know in the comments, because that would be impressive. I totally overlooked that. Time to send this thing over to paint. Let's go ahead and get this thing, see if we can find the correct livery. Hopefully it's in there. I've never checked. Let's see what we got here. Indeed. Oh, that looks so good. That is perfect. I believe, yeah, this decal set was done by French Toast. Always does a great job on liveries and decals. Looks so good. Paint it. There it is. It looks so good. Okay, now it's time to tune it. We got to get this thing tuned. Getting our alignment done here. Just dialing it in. That one was way out, but we got it. Man, just look at that thing. So iconic. So iconic. Okay, we got it tuned. I think we're ready to start our dyno test. Haven't heard this thing start up yet. Start test. Let's go ahead and see. It started. That's nice. Factory power was 580 horsepower. 588 pound-feet of torque. And I think we're going to improve on this. But let's see by how much. I'm going to guess 300 horsepower. We're going up by 300 horsepower and 350 torque. Oh, we went up by 433 horsepower and almost 400 pound-feet of torque. 1,013 horsepower. And let's, pretty close. 985 pound-feet of torque. We could call it 1,000. Puts us, gives us a drag rating of A, 725. Let's see what kind of cars we go up against with that at Drag Wars. I'll just go ahead and call it Drag Wars or Race Wars. It's been too long. I need to pop the first movie back in for sure. I definitely want to now after building this car out. All right, let's take it over to the airport. And here we are with the speed track. Gonna scoot back a little bit and get as much run up as I can. Let's see what we can do as far as top speed. We have definitely just passed 100 miles per hour. That was quick. Listen to that blow-off valve, so good. We are at 200 miles an hour, and we topped it out at 204. I think with a little more gear adjustments, we can get way more out of it than that. That is impressive. 205. Yeah, let's mess with the gearing a little bit, see what we can do. Let's try this again, shall we? We are crossing 100 miles an hour right there. Man, this thing is fast. 150. 180. There, we've got 200. Man, this thing is just climbing and climbing and climbing. And I think we better start stopping now. Oh, yeah. 229. Can we get to 230? I think maybe we can on the return trip. There's 230. 232. On the brakes, on the brakes, on the brakes. Turn. Keep it off. There we go. That's me squeezing every bit out of it. 232. I'm ecstatic about that. That's the fastest we've gone in a long time on this channel. Oh, a J turns so beautifully. That was textbook. Man, this thing is a blast. Time to take it over to the quarter mile. And here we are, King of the Sands. I live my life a quarter mile at a time, Class A. And we are, our first victim, shall we say, is going to be a 1964 Volkswagen Beetle Type 1. It's got drag slicks on it though, and it's a Class A, actually a higher drag rating than us. Maybe I shouldn't get so cocky so quickly. Let's see what happens. And there it is. Some sort of drag. Oh yeah, it's got a cage and everything. All right, let's give this a go. Oh, he's gone. Look at that. Oh, we're starting to get him right there. Not enough. We're going again. We got to try that again. Knocked out in the first round. Yeah, I am going to. We ran at sub 10 at 154. He was a 9.7 at 147. We were definitely catching him. This time we were up against a Lamborghini Huracan with a much higher track rating. Let's see how this goes. Looks cool. It's like a flat black. All right, let's see if we got anything for it. Feels like we got off the line good, and it looks like we're gonna get him. The whole thing is trying to control this thing off the line. It just, maybe starting in second would be a better deal. Yeah, a 9.7. We definitely improved. We both had the same reaction time, which wasn't great. I'll be going up against a Shelby Cobra Super Snake with a drag rating. Yeah, we might have a good shot here. There it is, just that classic Shelby blue. Let's do it. Oh yeah, I was gonna start in second, wasn't I? Looks like we left him in the dust. I'll take it. A 9.7. Pretty much the same thing I ran last time with pretty much the exact same reaction time. Let's try starting in second gear for this one. We'll be going up against a Ferrari F40. Ooh, Cavallino Racing Ferrari F40. There it is in yellow. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna start in second. Let's see what that does. That was better. I feel like we're gonna improve on this one, and I think we've got him beat as well. Let's see what that says. A 9.6. Yeah, so we are going faster starting in second. He ran a 10.3, better reaction time. And we are in the finals going up against another Super Snake. We're pretty closely matched right here. So we'll see what... I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. Definitely starting in second again. Here we go. Terrible reaction time. I didn't want a red light. I got into my own head. But I think, yeah, we got him beat. All right. Yeah, 9.8 with a horrible... Oh, that reaction time was awful. I just didn't want to red light it. I got into my own head about it. But we got there first, and that's all that matters. And we're going to get a payout. $11,250. Just look at the thing. It's so good. Absolutely love it with the Targa off. So good. We bought the car for $60,167. The sell value is almost $300,000, which would give us a profit of $229,058. But it is not going anywhere but my parking garage because I'm trying to collect all of the first Fast and Furious cars. And I think I'm just about there. We'll have to do a video when I get them all together. But we do have inventory parts to sell, so let's go ahead and see what kind of money we make from our inventory parts. $6,803, not bad. So off it goes to my parking garage, and guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you made it this far, consider giving the video a thumbs up. It really helps me out, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That was a really fun one. I've been wanting to do that car for a very long time. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.